Hi all, how are you doing? How are you coming in this morning? I always love to ask that question when somebody's coming in for counseling. How are you doing today? So what I'm noticing in my own heart is that stuff is starting to come up at home because we're in closer proximity to each other. So I don't know if you have small children or if you have big children like me, but I want to talk about what's coming up in you as you're parenting. Or maybe what you're finding is that you are finding new things about yourself that you'd forgotten. So the first thing I want to talk about is sleeping. Yeah, you know, maybe right now you're even taking off your sleep mask, but how are you doing with sleeping? It's important because sleep is what helps us refuel and reset. So if you're sleeping enough, you have what it takes to work through those little bumps in the day. Now, if you're not sleeping well, what you're going to find is that you are a little bit grumpy because you're a little bit anxious. So, what's your sleep pattern like? Are you going to sleep at the same time? Things that get in the way of sleep are too much technology right before you go to bed. If you're not taking care of the little offenses of the day, you may lay in bed and you start to worry or rehearse the offenses of the day. Maybe you're drinking a little more than usual. Alcohol, because of the sugar level, will cause you to have a break in sleep. And then there's just good old-fashioned, I'm not sleeping well because I'm not active. So put some activity in your day and then think about, as you're going to sleep, as you go back through the day with God, ask God, where were you with me in my day? Where have you loved me? Where have I resisted you? And as you go to sleep, it's kind of like the counting sheep. You know, part of why we would give that that idea of counting sheep for children is because by counting, we start to slow down our thoughts. And when we slow down our thoughts, we slow down our worries. And I just encourage you to do some of these things before you go to bed. Find a bedtime routine and try doing it every night. That's for yourself. Now, you're probably already reading to children and putting them to sleep and tucking them in. But what do you as a parent need to have a good night's sleep? Oh, and if you wake up 4 hours into the middle of the night wide awake, that's very common because that's after your first sleep cycle. And that can be a good opportunity to go back to sleep. And if you can't go back to sleep, go back to God and ask what He'd like to talk to you about, what you'd like to journal about. So I hope you find sleep, I hope you find rest, and I hope you find all that you need to wake up in a good place. Amen.